Assalamu alaikum. So we're back, and the proud youth of TMOA on this gold mine of a channel that seems to just unfortunately just spew out just misinformation and utter falsehood, which kind of goes hand in hand with a lot of things that come from the Jamaat, TMOA, Jamaat al-Fitrah, IQOU, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, so this the title of this video says hashtag TMOA Khalifa Hussain. First of all, let me help you out. Y'all need to put the Honorable Khalifa Hussain, right? Because he that is the title and the honorifics you guys use to describe him, and you guys placed upon him, right? The Honorable Khalifa Hussain Adams, right? So anyway, you guys don't even follow your own rules properly. So Hussain Adams, Khalifa Hussain, gives words of wisdom about Rasul Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, right? So we watched the video on this show on Thursday, and I would assume, knowing K2 here, he will say similar things to what he said in that video, and we will go through. It's only 2 minutes long, and point out the falsehood and expound upon that with things that we didn't say on the show already. So inshallah, we're gonna watch this together.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم الحمد ونصلي على رسوله الكريم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة.
Okay, this is not anything Islamic I'm about to say here. Just a personal pet peeve of mine. I don't like it when people wear sunglasses indoors. Rappers wear sunglasses indoors when they're high. What purpose does it serve for K2 to be wearing sunglasses indoors? Anyway.
Millions of salutations and salams and salawat upon Rahmatan lil Alameen. How we're so fortunate and blessed to be able
blessed
to remember him and all that he continues to do for mankind and creation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Rasul Akram sallallahu alayhi wasallam from his personal nur.
Okay, no. So we covered this on the show, but just to reiterate, and you see this a lot with Shi'i sources, right? And the Shi'i scholars is that, and it's not just Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's Hazrat Ali. It's Hazrat Imam Hussain, Hazrat Hassan, right? So for the Ahlul Bayt, and they tend to go from, on one hand, right, it's this idea which as a Muslim, every Muslim loves Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? But a lot of Shi'i sources have gone over from loving to venerating and then sort of worshiping in a sense, right? So the statement that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is created from Allah's nur personally, and he's created from Allah's light. This is not true. This is found in Shi'i sources, and if anyone takes the time after this video, you guys can go Google it, right? And you will see it's like this website. It's like alislam.org. It's like the number one Shiite website on the internet for Shiite sources, right? So that's the thing that pops up there. It's from Shiite sources. We know that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the best of mankind, right? Best of mankind. But he was a human. So the angels are made of light. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not made of light. He was made of clay, same as all the humans. I believe there's a verse in the Quran where Allah says that he's human same as you, or he's made of clay same as you. And this statement here, right, that he's made of light, directly contradicts what's actually known in the Islamic circle, right? In Islamic world, right? And so for K2, who is speaking here, right, and saying this, right, this video a month ago. It could have been a month ago. It could be earlier than that. It could be later. But this is one of the things, right? Is that unfortunately this man K2, he is a savant, right? He is very smart, knowledgeable, right? He seems to have a adapt brain for learning things, understanding things, right? Unfortunately, he happens to be a shirk savant. He is a savant of shirk and bid'ah. And this is what his brain has been unfortunately filled with, because he has, listen, a great speaking voice. He has a great presence on stage, and he seems to be in his element. Seems to be very extroverted, and know how to control a crowd and project his voice very far. So alhamdulillah, right? He has that, but his vocal projection is being used as a falsehood. And so when he says this, similar to how he said in the previous video, right? He offers no support, and then these yes men and yes women around him, right, are just cheering him on, saying, "Oh, mashallah, mashallah, mashallah," right? Best believe, right? And this is why it's important to not surround yourself with yes men, but also more importantly, surround yourself with people who know more than you, right? It's listen, it is fun to be the smartest person in the room, right? The smartest person in the room. Everyone asks you for advice. Everyone asks you for your thoughts on this. It's great, but you're also not learning anything. And so all you're learning is that you can be arrogant, narcissistic, and just say things because again, no one's gonna question you at all. So he obviously learned this from Mubarak Jelani, who considered himself to be the smartest person in the room, and for 40 years, no one questioned Mubarak Jelani and said, "Hey, Sheikh, where did you get this from?" He could just say it out loud repeatedly and just roll with it. So for K2 to have said this on numerous occasions, right? And I covered in the previous video, the Azhar scholars and the people who went to Azhar and studied, and they have a hafiz of Quran, multiple hafiz of Quran in the Jamaat now. None of you questioned this. None of you said, "Hey, K2, Khalifa Hussain, where'd you get this from? Show me your sources." Because best believe, right? In R2F, if Jafar says something that might not be correct, Mubarak and I will talk to him. Hey, Jafar, where's your sources at? If Hanif says something, hey, Hanif, sources. Hey, Amr, sources. Hey, Mubarak, sources. So you want to build an environment where you can say things, and people don't just say, okay, well, this is opposite correct, unless keeping sources with it. So for K2 here to just say things out loud, right, and just say, hey, listen, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was created from Allah's nur. This isn't found in any of the Sunni sources. Most scholars don't like this. This contradicts that verse where he's human. He's made the same as we are. I know he's the greatest human of all time. He's the greatest creation. But to say he's been made of light and then to say it out loud, you could at least, even if you're gonna just quote the falsehood, right? You're just gonna quote the Shiites, right? And it's the slippery slope, right? With quoting the Shiites and taking Shiite sources, right? Because the Shiites believe things like Hazrat Ali, right? Ali ibn Abi Talib, he was the only Khalifa of Islam. So they don't believe that Abu Bakr ibn Siddiq, not Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Uthman ibn Affan. They don't believe that the three Khalifas prior to Ali, right? They don't believe that they were ever a Khalifa. They believe that Ali was the only Khalifa. He was the only one qualified to be the Khalifa. Even though we know that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was the second greatest Muslim who ever lived. They still believe that Ali was the only Khalifa of Islam. They believe in a bunch of other things. They believe in disparaging Sahabas and talking down to them, saying how could they do this, or they weren't like smart enough to do this, or whatever heinous crime you say. Which we know, as Muslims, you're not supposed to disparage the Sahabas. The Sahabas were infinitely better Muslims than we could ever be, right? So this is like, are these the people you want to quote? These are the sources you want to follow? The people who say that stuff about the Sahabas and about the Khalifa Rashidun? I personally wouldn't feel comfortable saying this out loud, knowing where it came from. And even if I don't know where it came from, I'm not just gonna say it out loud, not knowing that there is truth behind what I'm saying. So for K2 here, he's just speaking and just saying things out loud to pander to a crowd again for whatever reason. I personally don't see the benefit in this, but shout out to him, I guess.
And he gave him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to us, to mankind, to all beings. And as we know, he is a mercy to all of mankind. Praise be to Allah,
Ameen,
who sent our Master Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he sent him with guidance. He sent him with blessing. He gave him the most finest of attributes, and he chose him from the purest of peoples, the noblest of tribes, and made benedictions and salutations be upon he whom Allah elected to the station of prophethood. Whilst Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was still in.
Okay, so I'm not gonna cover the whole thing because we covered this on the show. But again, he just saying things. There's no sources, can't cite sources. He's just saying things out loud, and no one corrects him at all.
The model.
And again, if you have no one to stop you and point out your wrongdoing, you can say it. And I'm sure the comments are all gonna agree with him, because everyone here's a sheep. True lover. Yes. Never left us. Continue to guide the believers. Coming in true dreams, etc. He said that if we see him in a dream and truly be him, as 18 cannot take his form. How lucky? Okay. Yes. This is something about, obviously, the devil, Shaitan, cannot take the form of Prophet Muhammad, right? But I don't think that that if you have a dream where you think that it's Prophet Muhammad and he tells you to do some falsehood, it's definitely not him, right? So when the little girl Jelani, when she was like, "Oh, he told you to drink some hair water in the Quran," I can assure you, I can assure you, he definitely didn't say to drink hair water. I can assure you that it wasn't him. So yeah, like, yeah, it's just sheep comments. You got Ahmed. Hey, listen, Ahmed. Listen. Every time I see Ahmed in any TMOA content, unblock your father. All right, you are weird. Unblock your father. All right. This man Ahmed was like, yeah, I had to go and block my father, and no one checked for him. No one was like, yeah, let me check your phone and see if your Abu was blocked. It's sort of weird, but yeah, no. Just the overarching theme is Hussain Adams, Khalifa Hussain. Listen, you need to stop speaking. Period. Because whenever you speak, bro, you seem to just utter more and more garbage. All right, you are a shirk savant, and it's very sad. Assalamu alaikum.